Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Alexis Glass, and if you don't know me, I create faith-based content here on YouTube for the glory of God and for your enjoyment. So, today I thought I'd take you along with me on my day and do a little vlog, but also talk about the topic, are you ready for a relationship? I got this idea when talking to my mom and talking to a couple other people about the upcoming month of February. So, let's go get ready to go to the coffee shop, and we're gonna talk about more when I get there. Alrighty, I'm going to get my bag ready for the coffee shop. I always bring some sort of bag. This bag is my favorite recently. It is from Target, and it's very cute, and I love it. But I bring some sort of book. So I'm bringing this book, which is Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at Your Table by Louis Giglio. I'm gonna bring that book. Obviously, I'm gonna bring my Bible. Look how beautiful she is. And I bring my journal. And that's pretty much the basics of what I bring. I usually bring maybe a snack, a Verb bar, or some beef jerky, some type of snack. So I'm usually there for a little while because either I'm working or I'm there just to read my Bible and to chill. So, let's put it all in my bag. And then I'll bring my pen. These are the best pens ever. Like, for Bible journaling, they're fine tip and they're incredible. So I will link them down below. They're in my Amazon storefront, so you gotta go get them. So I'm gonna put that in there, obviously. And then that's pretty much it. And then I have my wallet in here too, obviously with my keys and my car stuff. So that's it. I'm gonna eat some lunch and then we're gonna get going to the coffee shop. I'm very excited to talk to you and to dive into this topic of, are you ready for a relationship? Hey friends, welcome to my car. This is my car. It's a Sonata. I love my car. I just recently proclaimed it as mine. It was my mom's, but she got a new one, so now it's mine. Anywho, let's go ahead and kind of get started on the topic of relationships and are you ready for a relationship? So I had written down some notes and some questions that I kind of wanted to answer today with you guys. So the number one question that I feel like it's like a big question nowadays is, can you be friends with someone that is the opposite sex? So can you be friends with a guy if you're a girl, or can you be just friends with a girl if you're a guy? So I think it's all about maturity levels and where you're at with that, because there's so many friends that I have that are guys. Like my best friend Rachel, her boyfriend is like one of my best friends, and he is a guy, but it's not like we're best friends. Like, that's reserved for Rachel. You know what I mean? That's reserved for their relationship. But me and David, we're just friends, and we talk to each other and we convert. Bro, I cannot get my seatbelt on. There we go. We're just friends. But I think you can't really be best friends with a guy without there being feelings on both ends, on either end. I feel like unless you're like family, unless that's like maybe like your brother, it's really hard for that. And if you're the person that's on the other end of like, no, we'd never date, or the other person may be the one that may like you. Because a lot of guys they don't really put their time and effort into like going out of their way to hang out with you if they don't actually are interested in you romantically. So be careful. And also I think this shows where your maturity level's at before you if you're ready for a relationship. Because can you be just friends with a guy? Can you, without having to have feelings for him? If you can be just friends with the guy without having to have feelings for him, that's a big step of maturity, and go you. Because a lot of girls, especially in high school, they can't be friends with a guy without being like, oh my gosh, I wonder what he would be like in a relationship with me. And I think that's often like, as girls, that's often what we think about. But there comes to a point where you look at his character rather than what he looks like. That's what you need to be looking for in a guy, rather than what he looks like and what he can give to you or what he can provide for you in a relationship. So that is something to be thinking about. Alright, let's go to the coffee shop. Okay, we made it to the coffee shop, but I haven't walked in yet because I wanted to answer another one of our questions that we want to talk about. And that is, what do you put your value in? What do you put your value in? If you had to be honest with this question, what do you put your value in? Do you put it in how many good grades you get? Do you put it in how many people are attracted to you? Do you put it into how many likes you get on social media? What do you put your value in? And what should you put your value in? The most important thing you should put your value in is in Jesus Christ. And knowing that you are a child of God, and that is valuable, that you are a chosen generation, that you are a daughter or a son of God, that you are a chosen from when you were born. God created you in your mother's womb for a purpose. And if you know that and you can value that, and if you're at the point of your life where you can value that, then I would say that you're a little bit closer to knowing that you're ready for a relationship. But if you're not, if you seek value in the things of this world, then a lot of the things that you're going to be seeking value for is not going to be of God. The guys that you're going to be attracting is not going to be of God. The girls that you're going to be attracting is not going to be of God, because you're seeking their validation and their approval, when God's approval and God's validation is the only thing you need. So, boom. Go for God's approval. And I'm going to go get a coffee real quick, and I'll be back. But I'm going to sit in there for a little bit, read my Bible. I'm going to take you along with me, see what my coffee order is, and kind of let you know what we're going to get for coffee today. I don't think I showed my outfit. Maybe I did. I don't know. I got this jacket thrifting. This is an Old Navy thing. It's like kind of a waffle material. I really like it. And then these jeans are from Tilly's and Doc Martens. Very excited. So I'm reading, if you can't tell, I'm reading the book. It's called Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at Your Table. It's a wonderful book, and it's all about, obviously not giving the enemy a seat at your table, but it's about Psalms 23 and how he prepares a table in the presence of our enemies, and what that means, and kind of how we can navigate that verse. And it's really, really good. Right now he's talking about temptation and James, and how it talks about how like we're enticed by our own desires and all these things. It's so good. I love, as the train goes by, I really love this book, and I highly recommend it. I'll put it in my Amazon storefront down below, but you definitely should go read it. Also, I'm reading the Bible, but I'm probably going to go back to the car and talk a little bit more about relationships, because I have a lot more to talk about. Alrighty, we're back in the car, and I wanted to show you what I got for coffee-wise. I made myself a honey cinnamon oat latte decaf. I always make this every time I come, but actually I didn't use oat milk today because we are out of oat milk. Sadly, I made it with almond milk, and it is a little different, but it's still good. I like it. So I'm gonna take a sip. It's so much better with almond milk, though. I mean almond milk. I mean oat milk, though. But it's still good. So the next question we're gonna kind of discuss about relationships is, can you be in a relationship with someone that is not the faith? And do you agree with that? Do you agree with being in a relationship with somebody that's not of the faith? And I think this conversation should start out with friendships. And are you friends with a lot of people that are not of the faith? And I was listening to a podcast yesterday with my mom, and it was called 30 Minutes with the Perrys. You should really watch that. It's the latest episode, and it's about friends. And they were talking about how being friends with non-believers is a no-brainer, because they live in sin. And they live in sin, it's going to be encouraging you to live in sin. So why would you engage in a relationship that's more than just like acquaintances with a person that is somebody that would entice you into sin because they live in sin, because that's okay to them? And I've always heard this saying that who your friends are or who you'll become. So I think we need to be careful. We need to be cautious about who we invite into our lives, and friendship-wise before even relationship-wise. And if you have a lot of friends that are not of the faith and that you feel bad not getting rid of those friends, but you feel bad kind of separating yourself from those friends, know that God will bring you friends that are even better, that he will bring you friends that will encourage you in the Lord, and that's what you should be looking for and praying for as a Christian. Okay, I want to get my Bible out because I wanted to talk about a story in the Bible. Let's go to Matthew 7:24 through 27. All right, Matthew 7:24. We're starting there. Everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who builds his house on the rock. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall, because it had been founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. All right, that is a parable that Jesus was talking about in Matthew 7, and something that I wanted to relate that with relationships is we have to have a sturdy foundation of God before we even embark into a romantic relationship with anybody else. I heard my mom say this, which was, I love my mom, she's my greatest mentor ever. She says, the more intimate you are with God, the more intimate you will be with other people. So how intimate are you with God? How vulnerable are you with God? Is it hard for you to be vulnerable with God? If it's hard for you to be intimate and vulnerable with God, then it's going to be hard for you to be intimate and vulnerable with friendships and even romantic relationships. So that's a big question to ask if you're wondering if you're ready for a relationship. Are you intimate with God? Do you allow yourself to be vulnerable to God and allow yourself to be vulnerable to even Christian friends, to trust people? Do you have some trust issues? We need to be vulnerable, God. And vulnerable and intimate is very introspective, and it's looking on the inside and saying, this is what I'm struggling with, and being honest with God about what you're struggling with and what you feel about the situation, because we can't lay down these certain things that we're struggling with. We can't lay them down unless we vocalize that I'm struggling with this thing, or I'm struggling with this problem, or I'm struggling with this emotion, maybe anger or fear. We can't necessarily be free from that unless we lay it down to God, unless we be honest and humble before the Lord. So, are you intimate with God? That's such a wonderful question that I needed to ask myself, and I have been. These past couple months, I've been in my prayer closet more than I ever have in my life, because I've been just talking to God, getting to know God and him as my father and my friend, and that relationship being the most important thing. That foundation of a relationship with God and being vulnerable and intimate with him will be a wonderful foundation that's on the rock, Jesus as our rock. That will be a foundation that will help you last in relationships and help you grow in relationships. Some things to think about, but on a lighter note, we're going home. I may sit in here and listen to some worship music and chill out for a second, but we're gonna go home and we're gonna finish this vlog there. Maybe make some lunch and talk about some more things. Alrighty, I'm back home. I listened to some wonderful music on the way home, jammed out, and now I'm gonna make lunch. I'm probably gonna make, I already have pre-cut bell peppers, and I'm probably gonna have that with hummus and some leftover chicken from yesterday. So let's warm up the chicken, make the hummus as I talk about a little bit more on the relationship topics. So I put a question box on my stories, and I'll probably be answering that kind of throughout this, seeing if they have any questions that people have asked. So let's go look. So we have pre-made bell peppers and some cucumbers, but I'm not a big fan of cucumbers in my hummus, but I love bell pepper and hummus, so I love the red ones and the green ones too, but we had both, but we kind of the red ones yesterday. And then I think we just got the original plain hummus. And this is something that I had in Israel that I had every day for every meal, basically. And I never got tired of it because I love hummus, but nothing compares to the hummus in Israel. Like that hummus is the best hummus you'll ever have in your life. But this is something somewhat similar, so I'm enjoying this. This really reminds me of Israel, which makes me kind of happy. Some questions that I get is, what do you look for in a husband, or like a future spouse is a weird word. Anywho, future husband. What do you look for? First of all, look for the fruits of the Spirit. That's a wonderful thing to look for. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. Look for all those things in a significant other. Or even in friends too. Like, look for those in things in friends, because if your friend has a hard time being kind to others, they're probably gonna have a hard time being kind to you. So it's just really good to be cautious and really good to be smart about choosing your friends wisely and just choosing who you would spend your time with wisely, because who you are friends with or who you're gonna become. So let's be intentional with our relationship with God. I brought you through my day, basically my very boring Tuesday. I brought you through my day to simply say to be intentional with Jesus. Make him a priority before you make your relationship a priority, and see how much it benefits your future relationships, because I'm so excited to see how much it'll benefit mine. All right, thank you for coming with me through my day, and I hope that you enjoyed talking to me and talking to me about this topic. Be looking forward to book videos, videos about Jesus, videos about my faith, and just fun videos of me just talking it up. Alrighty, I love you guys, and all my socials are down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!